Hello there and welcome. This is Cindy B at cindybdesigns.com for the Papercraft Crew at papercraftcrew.com. I promised you Halloween. We're doing Halloween. First off, let's get through the Halloween Night Specialty Series Halloween Night DSP. This is what it looks like. I'm going to bring it like kind of up close to your face. I have funky lighting because it's the hottest time of the day and my plantation shutters are closed. This is basic black, basic gray, pumpkin pie, silver foil, and whisper white. Not too different from last year, but a lot more patterns. And I think that there's a second one too. I'm not sure. So here is the side of one. It's just polka dots. Now you're going to see almost like this brickish chevron pattern. No, it's not a brick pattern. It's just, I don't know what pattern it is. But later on in the pack, you're going to see like the brick in the basic gray. And this is really cool. So there's that, and that's the other side of that. Stripes, I'm not a stripe person. And this is adorable. Bats, and they're ombre bats too, if you look really close. This is my favorite. Oh, these adorable little pumpkins. They look ombre or watercolor. No comment. I'm pleading the fifth. Okay, we have this. This is the most mellow piece of paper in this pack. I've already cut a whole lot of it for our project that we're going to do today. And every single color in the DSP is in this. This is, I love this. On the flip side is kind of a striped piece of paper. Now, okay, there we go. This is too stinking cute. There is a stamp set that has the exact same images that is in this designer series paper. Great for cutting out. It's cool. And I love the little pumpkin pie polka dots. There you go. That goes across it. Again, there's the brick. These two are like super specialty papers where there's nothing on the other side. And this is basic black with silver foil on it, like you did the foiling technique. And this one just has silver dot foil polka dots. So that is the Halloween Night Designer DSP. I promised you a peek at the embellishments. I think we've gone over this before, these like crazy cool tassels. And then of course the Halloween Night enamel dots. They're great. We went over the twine. That's new. And we've also gone over the washi tape that I kind of have prepped and ready to go for the project that we're doing. I love this pattern. This is really super cool. And there was a pumpkin pie one last year that matched this, or some washi tape. I keep all of mine, to be honest with you. Okay, we're going to make a treat box. I know. I'm shaking in my shoes too. We are going to start out with the Baker's Box Thinlit dies, and there's all those pieces in there. And here is the main one. And this is what cuts our box. You're going to need two of these. If you don't want this handle up here and you want to punch two dots, then you need 6x6. Or if you just want to like chop the curve off and then punch in two dots to close it, 6x6. If you want the whole thing like I did, it's going to be 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, because when you send it through your Big Shot, you don't want to do it straight, okay? You want to... I really need some of my paper here. You want to skew it a little bit. like that. So you don't have any, well, Stephanie Bernard, you know, any of those speed bumps or road bumps or anything like that. And it's not going to bend your die because these are, I mean, they're dies. They're a little bit on the fragile side. You do not need your precision base cutting plate for this just because it's not intricate at all. So you're cool. You're good to go. You're going to want to cut two of them out. And I've already gone ahead and taken the liberty of doing that. This is basic gray. And what I'm not getting, to be honest with you, is if you look super close, there's, okay, you can see it. There's like two score lines. And I'm sort of wondering why. I'm just going to go with the one that folds the easiest. And I figure the rest will come in time. Oh, detail on the box. Okay, I'm getting it. Because we have sides, they're like right here, that's going to fold in like a milk carton. And that's where you get this from, except going the other way. So what you want to do is just go through and get everything all scored up. Then once we get that done, I am going to come back and show you exactly where you need your adhesive and how to work this if you want to stamp on it first. There's a lot of scoring to do. Okay, I am done. I have everything folded. These are bags that you give to like really super special people because it's not an easy task. If you have younger kids and want to do it for their classroom, start now, like the second you can order. If you're not a demonstrator, because this is a lot of work. So, well, at least for what I'm doing, but I'm actually really not going to be doing a lot compared to what I could be doing. If you want to decorate up your box with designer series paper, cut more of them out or do some measuring, and that way you can have some borders around everything. I did figure out that second line in there, and it is detail for the box, which is, you know, I mean, I think it's great. It looks very, very, very cool. So what I want to do is I've got to figure out, I know that both of these sides are going up here, and that this is going to be put together. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get all of my stamping done on my bag before I start to put it together. So I'm going to open up my large Misty here, and as you can see, I already took out the foam pad because the stamp set that I'm going to work with is the cling mount. I'm using my Misty because I do not want to risk getting an impression that's not the best. So our stamp set that we are going to be using, that was just in front of my face. Okay, here we go. I got a lot going on. Is this Halloween Scares. And it's the cutest little thing. You have like little dots at the top, a fence here, kind of like a wonky moon, speech bubble, cat, tree, 3 bats, pumpkin, creepy house, and they are cling mount. And what coordinates with them is not this stamp set. There is a set of Halloween Scenes Edgeless dies, that are, and we're going to be using this too, and they are right here. We're going to use a fence, and it coordinates beautifully with this Spooky Fun stamp set, which we'll be using on our box as well. We'll also be using the new Stampin' Up! Ombre ink pad. We're going to be using white craft, that washi taper I just showed you, some pumpkin pie, and basic black twine. We're going to need some black archival ink, and then the layering circles framelit dies. There's two sizes. Mine's just, this is a smaller size. You want to cut a circle of this, the extreme small size that you can, from that designer series paper that I just showed you. And I've worked a little bit ahead, and I've gone ahead and die cut this fence onto a piece of basic black old textured cardstock. And this is going to be tough because there's a line down here that you've got to cut, and it's curved, and a paper trimmer is not going to get you out of this. That's definitely going to have to be fussy cut. So the first thing that I want to do to make my little treat box is I want to, okay, this here is going to be my top. This part here, and there's that score line. I'm going to zoom in. There's that score line. That is going to be where I'm going to have this as my little tag. That will have a banner going across it. And this panel right here, that's the one I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to put this wonky moon piece right there up in the corner. And everything that we have to stamp before we assemble this, it's going to be done. So I'm going to zoom back out a little bit, and I want to make sure this is nice and inked up with some white pigment ink. I can't find my Stampin' Up! Brand, or else I'd use that, I'm sorry. And if I don't like how it turns out, then I'll restamp it. So I'm just going to give that a nice press. Now remember, pigment ink is fussy. You can either let it dry on its own or give it a blast with your heat tool. And in this case, I would do it on low, or just let it air dry. I'm good with that. That was like my little Tupperware container that I keep this in. So I'm going to wipe my stamp off. I'm going to personally let this air dry. And then we're going to work from there. I'm going to zoom in real quick and show you how it turned out. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to Best Buy tomorrow, deal with this tripod situation. So, I shall return. Okay, my moon is dry. So we're going to move on to the next step. And I am going to grab my scissors and just cut very carefully the ends off of this. We're not going to be using the entire fence because we can't. However, this is going to give me a good idea as like to where to position my tree Because see that little line right there that we have to cut out? That is what I want sitting right up against here. And it'll give you that great curved look on your bag. So I need to get my tree and figure out where it's going to look the best, because I want it to go all the way to the top. I don't want it completely covering my moon, but I do want it more over towards the right. Now when you line this up, keep an eye on your post, because this is not going to be long. Well, it is, but you want to get the bottom of your tree like underneath one of your posts. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so we're going to pick that up, and then we're going to be grabbing some black. Let's go ahead and go along with some hybrid ink here. Not hybrid, but really dark black ink. Archival ink. You get great impressions from this the first time around. So I've got that done. I'm going to close the door of my MISTI and then just give that a really good press. Nice. Okay, I'm going to clean my stamp off really fast. Okay, the next thing I want to do, let's go ahead and add some bats in. And I'm going to position this little bat right here from the Halloween Scares stamp set. And the big bat is going to go on the moon. And then one is going to go up and the other one will be towards the tree. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave our bag in here, because one thing that I need to do is pull in the Spooky Fun stamp set, which is this right here with all these adorable little images. And I think I said this at the beginning of the video, that coordinates with this Halloween Scenes edgelets. So we are going to grab that. And I have the Sentiment Trick or Treat here on my mini MISTI. And again, I keep my cardstock. This is textured paper pumpkin. Whoops. So I'm going to give that a really good press. Figure I might as well get all my inking done now. Okay, I am good with that. Once again, I'm cleaning off my stamp, and that was archival ink, by the way, and look how well it cleans it off when you get to it. So I'm just going to stick that right back in the stamp set so I don't lose it, because I will. We will deal with this later. So I'm going to set that aside for now. We're going to go ahead and pull back in the large MISTI. That is the scene that we have. So I'm going to pull this out, and the next thing that you're going to want to do is grab the fence die cut from the Halloween Scenes edgelet dies, and then cut right along this line down here. Okay, there you go. Can you see it? That's the line that you want to cut on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and we'll go from there. Okay, I have cut my fence out, and now I'm just positioning it to where it's going to work for me. It'd be cool to have both those lamp posts on, or those fence posts on there, and I can actually pull that off, and I do mean barely. So you know where your score lines are, and I'm going to grab a pencil, even though I really wish I had a ruler right now. And I'm going to mark where I need to cut with my scissors on both sides, crud. Okay, got it. Because I wanted to keep an eye on that bottom line there, which is really super important. I need some help. Okay. I'm getting there. You just want to make sure that everything lines up. And honestly, this is like drag part of it. So we have a line right here, right there, and another one right there. Let's hope for the best. And if not, you just cut another one. That one was right on the edge. Okay, let's see how we did. I think we did fabulous. Yeah, we did good. And if there's like a little pencil mark on there, like there is at the end here, just go ahead and take your eraser and erase it off. And the next thing that we want to do, and then there's going to be another break, so this can set up and dry, is we want to take our glue, and you've seen me rant and rave about how great this Mod Podge is in the fine tip. Again, I'm not even pressing. It's fabulous. My wrists love it. I'm not going to put any up there on the little fence post. Then I'm going to grab my tweezers. Oh, forget that. I do better with my hands. If you get a headshot, I'm sorry. Okay, good. That's in your line of vision. I want this line covered here. I don't want to go over it. I want it covered. And the reason why I use the multi-matte medium or the Mod Podge is because it dries clear, and I'm cool with my tree showing, and it gives you some wiggle room, and just doing that alone allowed me to push the fence up when I closed, or I pulled up this panel here. Grab yourself a block, make sure everything is lined up, like everything is hanging over. And you may have to cut some more off on the end, but you don't want any gray showing from underneath there. So with that, I'm okay. So open it back up, stick a block on, and let it set up. Idea. While our fence is setting up, let's go ahead and get our little banner done. So we just stamped this. I'm going to go ahead and use the banner triple punch. Turn it over. I should have thought about this beforehand, because I want those edges really super close. And I do have a tip if you're having problems with it getting really close. And I'm going to show you what that is. And what you hear me getting into is my lower drawers for a piece of Post-it note. So I've been working on this side down here, and I'm just going to take this, put it down on the sticky part, because I know that my banner is going to be closer than where I'm putting it. I can't believe I just got that email. And I'm going to fold it. Now we know that this is not going to fit into our banner punch, so grab some scissors and just cut. Okay, there we go. See where that T is? And use your letters to get it lined up. And that's really easy to do anyway, just by even looking at the paper alone. I don't want this, I want it cut pretty tight. Cool. Here we go. We are done with that. All I have left of this textured pumpkin pie is this little scrap right here. I'm keeping it because you know what? I can do a couple more sentiment banners on there. Alright, our little fence should be set up by now. By the way, that was the banner triple punch. That should be nice and down. Cool it is. And I'm also still saving this textured black cardstock as well that I cut my fence out of. So let's go ahead and start assembling this bag. Okay, now that I have my stamping done and everything, what you want to do is grab some really strong adhesive and put it on both flaps, okay? Like I did there. Then I went ahead and lined both pieces up, and I have just a piece of repositional tape right there. That's not working so well for me. This comes out of the die set, and it's one of those little clip deals. It puts the opening in on the top. And so once again, before you run this through, you want to make everything positive that everything's like 100% lined up. So our stamping turned out great. And I'm going to run this over to my Big Shot and go ahead and cut it out because I got one of those like Sizzix things that you can put on the side and it's too much of a drag to pull it in screen. So I'm going to do that real fast and then come back. Okie dokie. I am back and I'm just going to take everything apart, make sure that it went through just fine, and it did. Let me pull this tape off even though it's repositionable. Oh, see, look what I just did. Darn it. And that's because it went through my die cut machine. This is part of the milk carton part anyway, so hopefully okay, see that right there? I am just going to leave that alone because it's a little bit sticky from that repositionable tape. And that's a Scotch brand too. So I'm going to take advantage of it and stick it down. And I'm going to be oh so careful taking this off. Okay. Now, as you can see, part of my tape stuck, and that's where I'm just going to grab my pokey. Well, maybe if I push that little thing through, it'll pull it off. This is where you grab your pokey tool and have to spend a little bit of time, hope for the best. I'm leaving this in so you can check out how to repair a card or a box, even though I'm sure that you've all been through, I think we've all been through like equal craft hell, to be blunt. Okay, normally I go like this even though it's repositionable just to get extra sticky stuff off, but I did not this time. Now that we have this done and we know that they're perfectly lined up, no matter what you do, you are going to have on the front of your box, you're going to have a place where you're going to just have a fold over crease, which I don't like. I like to be able to hide that in back. Yeah, even if I flip it over, not going to work. So to get this together, I am going to pull off my sticky tape. That wasn't 2 pieces either. My plates must be trashed. Okay, this is where you need like the super perfect, it's absolutely critical lineup. So I'm going to turn my card this way because I work better sideways. Some of this stuff I'm not getting, because I mean if you look at it, it should go together like this, but nothing like messing yourself up. You see at the bottom we got the exact same thing. So I'm just going to go for it. Then, let me fold it over at least flat. Then we're going to do the exact same thing to this side, and then it will be the beginning of our little box here. We're doing cool because we got the milk carton thingies at the top. Okay, I'm feeling much better about myself right now. So this basically should just fold over on itself and be a lot easier than first time around. Okay, there we are. We did it. So just kind of to de-stress from that a little bit, I am going to grab in, we'll do something super easy. I'm going to grab in my little tag, okay, and you can grab your pokey tool and do a hole punch, just, you know, punch it, but I want to put a punch at, let's say right about there. I mean, this isn't rocket science here. Then I want to get my little trick or treat banner. Lay that on there. I'm going to pull in my washi tape. From yesterday. I rarely sit down and do a video in one sitting. And then I want to tear just enough of this to fit down here, like at the bottom, but not too much. There, that's what I did. I'm not going to put any dimensionals on my little tag. It's just going on. I'm going to go ahead and let that set up. Okay, I am back. You know that you can simply use these tabs and fold this down like a moving box. However, if you're going to put candy in there or anything like that, it's just going to fly right open and all over the place. And we can still do that from the very beginning up here. So what I've done is that I have taken these two endings and I've just put tape all over them because I want my box to stay closed. Okay, I have everything off on this side. I wanted to say that. Okay, so we got the smoke carton thing going on. Everything's tucked. So when you lay it down, make sure that your milk carton parts are tucked in and these are folded over and it's laying flat on your surface. And use your grid mat to do that because you know these things get wonky. Am I still on the screen? Okay, I gotta move up. I actually forget the little milk tabs being in. We just want these closed because it helps keep the box straighter. So if I get a crazy looking box, it's not even after all this. All I'm doing right. Oh my gosh, I think I just lost the entire part where I put this on, tied this little knot. This is easy enough. I just put some of this foam tape behind it, stuck it on there at an angle like I'm showing you right now. Grab some of this thread. I'm kind of glad I lost that part of the video because I totally struggled with this box. As far as just closing, I had to get a clip and put it on top to get this knot. You want to make sure that you put a knot right maybe a half an inch or so away from your tag, so that way you can fumble fiddle with the top, do whatever you want with it. Putting some of these on as embellishments would be awesome. I'm totally thinking about it since I don't know if I'll be making another one of these. But on the same token, we have ourselves some pretty cool enamel dots in pumpkin pie, old olive, and pure plum, and they have different sizes to them. And since all those colors were introduced in this one little circle that we cut and in the washi tape, that means we're going to use them on this card. I'm sorry, box. So I'm going to put a little purple dot there. I'm going to get out, that was a large purple dot. I'm going to grab a small green dot. Remember, we want to keep this in like a visual triangle. And I'm doing green over here because in this little piece of paper, I'm not seeing any green. Yeah, I am. Just 2 dots. We're going to do that. And I changed my mind about the purple. I want to put it up here because I already have pumpkin pie up there. So we'll just get the pumpkin pie down there where I had the purple. Same spot. Once again in that visual triangle, and then we're calling this a day. If you really want to get super fancy, go ahead and use a wing Stella on your fence or something like that, but what do you think? I think this is like a very super cool tree box. And it takes a little work, but the payoff is great. And I think that once you really start just cranking at them, it will be an easy assembly line process. So I thank you so much for joining me again today for a look into Halloween night, the DSP, all the embellishments, the twine, the enamel dots, washi tape. We kind of touched upon a little bit of everything. So enjoy. God bless. This has been Cindy B for the Paper Craft Crew, and I will see you again the next time. Have a great day, and thank you so much for your support. Bye. So cool.